Aha!
Oh,
Hello! Welcome, guys. Welcome to Divergent Motivation. And we got one of the best divergents ever with us tonight. So, yeah, in this segment of What Do I Know? Yeah, I decided that I had to bring um, this amazing what do I call you? A man,
being,
force of nature,
yeah,
encyclopedia.
uh,
What can I call you?
being.
Yeah. So I hope you guys will enjoy this as much as I will, for sure. And I would like to start by asking you to explain a little bit of your name because I have this idea that I don't know how to pronunciate it first and foremost. And I want you to explain a little bit of that. We start with that. And I want you to give us also a little bit of kind of resume of who is Leukur?
Leuki for short,
Leuki. Yeah.
or Leuku.
Leuku. Okay, that I can do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Leuku is um, is what we use in Portuguese as Luís.
Oh,
We,
okay. Really?
yes,
Wow.
from using the ancient Lusitanian language.
Oh, I see.
Leukuir, it means free man.
Oh,
Leukuir, leuco, or I'm sure you know the word leukocyte,
yeah.
leukocyte,
Okay.
leukocyte. They say it's the white blood cells, right?
Yeah.
But they are not white like my beard. A
Which is amazing, by the way.
leukocyte is actually bioluminescent cell, which is part of the immune system of our body. I'm sure
Okay.
you know about the word leukemia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that one too much, let me
Right.
tell you.
So, leukemia, it's a disease which affects the white blood cells, which are responsible, well, like the macrophages, they go and eat
Yeah.
the microbes, the foreign bodies that enter in our immune system. So they are the first response to the immune system because they are leukocytes, because they irradiate light. We do have light. We are made of light. So
Okay, that's so interesting. So while you were talking, I was thinking and I was envisioning, okay, so you were the first one to go and bring the light to all the Portuguese out there, yeah, to tell them, hey, something is
uh,
wrong.
well, well, yeah. Well, I was still in school, in high school, and I was looking at all of this, and I was interested into heavy metal, and started with punk rock and going all
Yeah,
crazy, and well, with anarchy, Sex Pistols, and all those anarchist bands, and I was realizing then, what kind of bullshit is this? Because one thing, as I was growing up, one thing that my mom did, she made sure that myself and my sisters could read, write, and do mathematical calculations before we went to primary school.
yeah.
So that is a major advantage. While the other kids are still learning A, E, I, O, U, I was already reading books about dragons and fairy tales and knights and all that.
Yeah, I totally get you because
Yeah,
I was a sci-fi kind of girl. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I started reading Jules Verne, at the
Wow.
time, sci-fi.
Wow.
all
Wow.
the time. And I was reading about Atlantis and the pyramids and all these mysteries. I had books on these mysteries, and in school they're teaching us all this boring bullshit nonsense about history, and I'm like, come on, guys, there's so much more out there, because I was reading before, the other guys and girls, right?
Yeah.
So I started realizing that the whole system was already, something wasn't right, until after I left school, and I picked a book from my ex-girlfriend's father's shelf, and it said, history of men since 200,000 years. And I'm like, wow, this is interesting. And I was reading through the book, halfway I had to close it, and I'm like, that's when my major click happened,
Yeah.
and I was in my early 20s, when well, before that I was already, you know
You were an errant already.
yeah, but that book was the major thing, because I had to close it and realize, wait a minute, someone is lying. It's either the school or this guy. So which
Yeah.
one is it? And
Yeah.
I closed the book, and I'm reading his biography. His name was Robert Charroux. I don't know if you ever came across a
No.
French writer, but it was really, really amazing, because he's talking about Atlantis and UFOs and all these um, inter, uh, interactions with aliens, and all these amazing mystical creatures. And I don't
Yeah.
remember the book anymore, but and at that moment I realized I was certain, yeah, someone is lying. It's either
Yeah.
this guy or the school, because it was completely the opposite. And so then I made up my mind. That's, well, now I know for sure these guys are lying.
Yeah.
So then everything, well, I started investigating about yoga, and the Eastern philosophies, Taoism and Hinduism, and so on. So I started digging, and I quit school, because it I'd rather go to work than to be wasting my time there. And I never stopped learning. I kept on feeding my my
Yeah.
thirst for knowledge and for wisdom, and
Yeah. And I
yeah,
think you have loads. It's a good point you touched there, because I know that uh, you left Portugal, and you lived
yeah.
for a
I
while
lived
in.
for a few years in South Africa,
Hmm.
and that's when, okay, I 2008, I was working like crazy, and I came to Europe. I actually went to Wales on a trip. We visited Stonehenge, and we visited a few sites in the UK. And then obviously after I came back, the crisis hit, and I'm trying to pay back the bills from the trip, and things were going down, and that's when I started, digging a bit further, and I came across, some people that were, free men on the land. A friend of mine tells me, "Oh, there's this movement called Free Men on the Land." What is that? I remembered the song from Iron Maiden. When the guy says, "You are number six," you know what? I'm not a number. I'm a free man, and he's you can hear him running
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
the song.
Yeah.
I was listening to that in the 80s, so now I'm really like, free
Yeah.
Berlin. Okay, I want to know more. So yeah, we started having a group of friends. We started getting into common law and all this, and then we even went to the Constitutional Court to present
Wow.
documents. When we realized, hey, South Africa is actually a a registered company in the stock exchange. So
Yeah.
we went
That
and
was
we
that was back when?
that was 2013.
Wow.
Because yeah, because 2010 we were already getting together. 2012 there was the whole OPPT thing with Heather uh, Tucci Giraffe, and then
Mhm.
she filed the this paradigm report because she was working with the UCC course or whatever. She was
Yeah.
doing some research, and she realized, well, the whole group of lawyers that were doing this research realized, no, wait a minute, this is a slavery system. This the entire world monetary system is a slave system. So
Mhm.
she wrote the paradigm report, and she filed this in on the 21st of December 2012. And everybody's saying, oh, the world is going to end
Yeah, yeah.
of December of 2012. And I think that was like, you know, this farce that we are in has been going on for thousands of years, right? So it's like a fast train that has been moving like full speed, and then
Yeah.
2012 comes and people started going, wait, wait, these countries are not countries, they are actually corporate entities for profit. And they're
I
using
had back then, for me, I had no idea. I was
uh,
still fast asleep.
yeah,
2012? No, I
yeah.
was still.
So we started digging more and more, and we started having meetings. And when we 2013 we started filing these documents at the Constitutional Court, they looked at us and they're like, who are these guys? You know, they're a bunch of hippies. And well, it never turned into anything because I mean, what are they going to do? They laugh at us because
Yeah.
there was
Because they
no,
protect each other, so there is no point.
yeah,
Uh, but again, it's the same thing. It's good because you have that experience, and I think that counted a lot for your path on the years to come.
yeah, because then I started researching. Wait a minute, I'm going back to Portugal. 2015, I came back because my mom was getting old, and I wouldn't want to put her in a home, so I came to look after
Yeah,
her until the last moment, and that was the one thing that I'll never regret because she did the same for me when I was a baby. She cleaned my ass, and she
yeah,
she did
yeah,
everything for me. So the only thing I could do was to do the same for her,
yeah,
you know.
exactly.
And so I started researching about wait, how was it in Portugal? Because we had friends that were filing affidavits already in
Hmm.
2014, and you know, from the free men on the land, and so on. So that's about the same time that David Ward started
Yeah,
you know, also digging and researching 2013, right? Because there was quite a big push on
yeah.
these underground movements, if we
Well,
can
I
call
think he started for him. I think it was in 2008
it.
that he got a big kick in the ass,
Mm.
which with HMRC. So
Uh,
basically, he probably went through the same things as you.
okay,
You
yeah,
know, all that free man on the land and common
yeah,
law. So yeah, he went through all of that, and like you were saying, yeah, what is the point? Because but you have to go through those motions for you to know and to really understand what is really going on, don't you?
yeah, yeah. So I started, and they were filing these affidavits to the Queen in England because South Africa is
Yeah,
part of the Commonwealth. And I started thinking, no, wait, Portugal is not part of the Commonwealth, and so how is it and how was it before we got sucked in by this Roman law, you know? And so I started digging in our history,
Mm.
because Portugal would fall straight under the Vatican, just like the Queen of England. And then I started digging further. Now, how was it before Portugal? And then you come across
Yeah, Viriato.
Viriato,
What does he say? Terror.
Terror
Yeah,
Romanorum.
yeah, that's it.
So this Viriato was a shepherd. He didn't want any war. He was a peaceful guy, but he had the experience of herding thousands of cattle through the mountains and the plains and the swamps. He knew the whole of the landscape.
Mm.
And so these Romans, they came and they did something that is, still today, if people know about the history, they invited everybody. Okay, let's speak about the Pax Romana and unite all the tribes, the Lusitanian tribes. Which were scattered,
Yeah.
throughout the land. We didn't have one people as such. There were several peoples.
They were
Turdetanos,
in parts of Spain as well, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Turdetanos, Vaqueos,
Hmm.
Ligurian tribes, the Conyi or Conioi tribes here in the south. And so these people were free. And Viriato had a saying, he says, my nation is freedom. And its wealth is inside of each and every single one of you. He wasn't a king or anything, he was just a shepherd. And the Romans came to speak about the Pax Romana, and they invited the people to come unarmed. And on that day, in one day, they drew the weapons and they massacred 30,000 people in one day. People unarmed, elderly, women, children, everybody. So this was a major crime. Even in Rome, they criticized the crime that this Galba, what is Roman general or whatever it was, and Viriato was amongst the crowd, and he managed to escape. They even had the elephants from the the Punic Wars, and so there was a story that is hidden. We don't learn about any of this in
No,
school.
no.
Absolutely
They
not.
want you to learn the names of the rivers. That's the most important
The
thing.
names of the kings and the queens and all these
Yeah, yeah,
bad
yeah.
people. Yeah. But the real people, the Lusitanian people, we had our own language. There's still a couple of languages that remain in the Iberian Peninsula, which is the Euskara, which is they speak in the Basque country,
Hmm.
and the Galaico in Portugal.
Yeah.
But the ancient Lusitanian language was called Leucanto, which means the
Ah,
chant of light.
the chant. Yeah,
That's
Leo.
Leucanto, the chant
Yeah.
of light. Right. So because these languages, they are prior to Latin, and in fact they are the basis for Latin. People don't know where did Latin come from.
Yeah.
So these languages that we do have here in the South, script, which is known as the Southwestern script or the Paleo-Hispanic script, and it's a spoken writing. It's a writing they used at the time, going back to the Neolithic. We have remains from Vila do Bispo, Alcalar, Ben Safrin, Almodóvar, and all the way from in the south to the south of Spain.
Mhm.
You see, in the south of Spain, you have a province which is called Andalusia, which
Yeah.
means ante Lucia. If Lusitania is the land of the light, ante Lucia is the land before the light.
Ah,
Antes de la luz, ante Lucia,
exactly.
ante Lucia. So And then when Julius Caesar came to these lands, he wrote, "Oh, beyond the Herminian mountains, which are these mountains that we've visited, around Serra da Estrela. They were
Yeah.
called by the Romans the Herminian mountains because Hermes was worshipped way back in time at the top of the mountains where they have the ermidas. Ermidas are
Mhm.
little chapels dedicated to Hermes, the god,
Oh, I see.
the fast god,
Yeah.
the one that has wings in his helmet,
Mhm.
wings in
Mhm.
his shoes, and wings
Yeah.
in his canopy, right? It's Mercury. Mercury is the fastest planet in our solar system. While we have 360-day orbit, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. So they say. We have to put a disclaimer now every time.
Yeah, we don't know anything for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I think this "What do I know" is the best.
exactly.
Yeah, it is because, well, apparently we can say, but then come again. Yeah, let's see.
But then our ancient peoples throughout the whole land, not only here in Lusitania and Iberia and the Franks, the Brits, the different tribes, the Picts, the Germanic tribes. There were many free
Mm,
peoples that lived on the land. um, they didn't have a written language, even though there was a script. But what was most fundamental was the oral tradition, because the knowledge was spoken from the living man or woman to the living
yeah, listener.
hearer.
Yeah.
So it was a living knowledge that was transmitted orally, and
Okay.
and that's through the myth. The myth is a form of transmitting knowledge and events uh, um, enclosed in some colorful story, but
Mhm.
the essence remains throughout the time.
Okay.
So
So I have a question at this point. So, is there a Portuguese people or is there a Lusitanian people? Does it
the
make sense?
Portuguese people are a mix. I'm losing you.
Oh, yeah. You're no,
Your signal is
it's you.
going.
I'm still here.
Is it me?
Yeah. You're
Okay.
yeah, now you're back. You're back. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, there is no Portuguese people as such. Portugal was only founded in the year 1135.
Yeah.
Um, uh, yeah, because these peoples, they lived on these lands for thousands of years. We hear the myths and the legends about the Ophites, the Ophites, which
Mm.
are the people of the serpents. The Ophites, and then the Cephis, also known as Cephis. So these peoples, they were probably survivors from Atlantis, from a major
Oh,
catastrophe. Because we are Portugal is right in the middle of the Atlantic,
yeah.
and so like I think Jason says that the Mediterranean Sea was created in one day, and you can
Yeah,
see,
yeah. I've been analyzing that as well, and it kind of makes sense, a lot of sense, especially when you look at those tiny little islands like Cape Verde and Azores and Madeira. I mean,
yeah,
why are they just there? I have
and the
this feeling that they were part of Atlantis.
and the Canary Islands,
Mm-hmm.
and so yeah, so you if you look into Mauritania, I
Yeah.
don't know if you ever came across the what they call the Eye of the Sahara,
Yeah. I've
yeah?
looked into that. Yeah.
The Richard structure.
Hmm.
If you zoom out from that Richard
Yeah.
structure, you can actually see as if the waters of a sea in the
Yeah.
Saharan desert have flown all the way down and went into where more or less Cape Verde is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we don't know. And that structure resembles what Plato described as Poseidonis, the capital of Atlantis, right? Which are a concentric
Okay.
city of land and sea and in
Yeah.
concentric circles, right?
Uh-huh.
So that Richard structure actually resembles what Plato describes as Poseidonis, the capital of Atlantis. Now, they also discovered pyramids by the Azores Islands, right? So
Hmm.
the Azores Islands are,
So
and Liberia,
that should be another ring, probably.
they are the peaks of the highest mountains of Atlantis. They're still standing above water, but obviously
Ah,
everything was engulfed by the. But there's a crack that goes practically from the North Pole to the
uh-huh.
south. In
Yeah.
the Atlantic. What do they call it? Not the ridge, Atlantic Ridge, or something like that.
Hmm.
So, well, we we don't remember,
Yeah. We
but
don't know.
we don't know for sure. But
Yeah.
I mean, when we look at the geography, we might find some clues or whatever. We might
Yeah.
speculate. So we don't know for sure. So we need to rely on myth. And so, going back to Mercury, Mercury's orbit is 90 days. So while the Earth has 1 year of 365 days, Mercury does 3 trips around the sun. That's why Mercury or Hermes is the messenger of the gods, because he travels from the Olympus to
Fast. Yeah.
Hades and he guides the souls up and down. And so he's like also the
Mm.
god of communication and the god of merchants, because he has the ability to negotiate and exchange goods and things. But
Yeah.
the myth goes as if he was born and straight away he is doing naughty things, like is Apollo. Oh no, wait, he, he tries to steal Jupiter's thunderbolt, and Jupiter is sleeping, and he gets burnt, and he screams, "Ouch!" And so Jupiter wakes up. Hey, what you doing? And so, oh, you naughty kid! You're going to back to Earth, where your brother Apollos is. He is there amongst the humans,
Yeah.
herding the sheep and playing his lyra.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Hermes arrives, and there is Apollos, playing falling asleep, and he steals the whole flock of sheep, and he hides them in some cave, So because he's like very clever and very fast, and so the myths are these funny stories that bring some kind of knowledge that remains in time, and
Hmm.
that is the purpose of the myth. And so there's many stories that and sometimes we
Do
cannot.
you think that the myths they stay for a reason? That like every advancement or every like after each reset, the civilization that starts to grow, they start to look into the myths and kind of decoding those myths, because I kind of feel like that's what is happening at this time
Yeah,
and age.
I
I
think so. I think they have a purpose, because the written text, as we know, can
Mm,
be highly manipulated, and that's
yeah.
what they call the sacred texts. they all been adjusted to serve
No,
the
altered,
purpose of,
altered,
of the
altered.
of the
Let's not
controllers.
say why.
Yeah,
Me and you, we know, yeah, but let's not
yeah.
say the why in
But
here because we
yeah,
want to love the channel.
no, we have to speak the truth. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah,
As far as we can tell, because people say, "Oh, but there's no such thing as truth," because your truth or my truth, that is not the truth. In my coat of arms, I have veritas summum lex est, which means the truth is supreme law. Because if any law that is not that is inconsistent with truth is null and void.
yeah,
End of story.
yeah.
you know
The end.
it's the end. So if there is to be a law, it has to be based on truth. If
Yeah, and it cannot
so,
be subjective to a belief and opinion. Truth is truth.
yeah.
Yeah,
And so they criticize the legends and the myths. That is myth, as they say. Well, because they want to minimize the power of the myth that it has to be preserved, or to preserve truth in time,
yeah.
because it's transmitted through the voice of the teacher or the master or the guru, whatever you want to
Mhm.
call it, or the father or the grandfather, to the ear of the disciple or the grandson. So it is preserved and is retold with the living heart.
Yeah,
While the text is dead, the text is in two dimensions,
yeah.
while the voice of men is
It has
the
the frequency, the
three-dimensional.
vibration. Yeah,
It's a three-dimensional manifestation of thought, because thought has no form. So thought takes shape through the voice of man or woman. When I say man, I include both
yeah.
male
It's
and
all.
female.
It's an M with a capital M, so it includes everybody
Yeah.
except the them and they. Those are not. They are just those two.
Yeah. But regarding the religions, that use this um, manipulation of thought, but that's how they can control the people. So let's go into the Far East, just to create an image as we we tell a story, right? And there's this emperor, and he thinks, I am the king of everybody, so everybody needs to obey me. And then he sees, where's all those people going? And the people are going to see the wise men in the mountain. And he's like, what? Who's the wise man in the mountain? I also want to find out. So he disguises himself as a peasant. And there he goes, and he listens to the story that the wise man has to tell. And he says, oh, okay, yeah, well, that's a good thing. So he comes back, and he tells everybody, people, I'm also now a Buddhist or whatever. I also worship your God. So let's go and build a massive statue made of gold. And you guys, you don't have to go to the mountain anymore. You come here. You see, so
Yeah.
so that is how these rulers, the archons,
Mm.
they manipulate the minds of the people in order to keep them under control. And that's all religions, how
Yeah.
they used to manipulate the thinking and the
It's a
behavior.
it's a power trip and a power trap.
Definitely, so, what they want to control is the behavior. And so since the religions have since Gutenberg started printing the Bible and all these texts, so manipulations and so on, and we all know the stories they tell, But then people started realizing, oh, wait a minute, there's bullshit going on there, I don't believe this. So there's a big push for atheism, which is the opposite, which is another trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's another. Well, they don't like it when I say that atheism is a religion. They hate it. What? No, we you say God exists, but we say it doesn't. So you can't prove it.
Yeah. It's the same.
But
Yeah.
they're trapped in their materialistic um, vision of things in such a way, and amongst our the people we deal with,
Yeah.
the other day we had a discussion with some people that we know of, and they are also into the affidavit and liens and so on. But they are trapped in that, in the sense that science is never established.
Mm.
It's about questioning. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's I used to say that I am not a warrior, I am a warrior. Why?
Same, same.
Since I was a kid, I'm asking why, but I don't want to know why. And so, um, you know, there is what can be observed by the scientific instruments that we have, microscopes, telescopes, and all these
Yeah.
devices that we have. But these observations are material, and you cannot present material evidence of what is immaterial. And
Yeah.
our bodies, since the moment of gestation, is matter. But I am not this body. I live in it. Yeah, I dominate. It's my dominion.
Yeah.
So but it's what I have. I have this body, but I cannot be what I have, just as I cannot have what I be. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I have, if it's something that I have this body, I live in it, I have it, and I am in control of it.
Yeah.
And this mind, I am not this mind. I have this
A
mind
mind.
that I
Yeah.
use to interpret this three-dimensional reality where this body is
Yeah.
present in this physicality, right? And so through the in this space, which is related to time, because if we move the body in space, we move it in time as well. So we call it the motion of the body. But at a more subtle level, beyond this three-dimensional reality, we have something else, which is emotion, which is not conditioned by space or time. The emotion are the emotions are the energetic motions, that vibrations that can span into the past or into the future. They are not conditioned by space or time.
Yeah.
So these emotions are in the fourth dimension, which is in the absence of space and time, right? The mind, which interprets the feelings, the sensations, heat and cold, and you see the colors, and you and you have these perceptions that are um, processed through the mind, but the mind is not inside the brain.
Yeah. And
The,
it's so tiny because there is one thing I like when Jason and it kind of I was like, wow, yeah, he put it into words what I've been conjuring quite a while, which is um, I mean, if you have an oversoul, yeah, your oversoul is way broader than you are because you have a perception of only this. Yeah. So if there is an oversoul, you he knows better and wider what is best for you, right? Because you can only see from this perspective, which is the one that you either you the people that you see, the people, the environment where you are, and you cannot be at everywhere at the same time. So uh
Yeah,
what you were saying, for me, makes a lot of sense, because it's all about our perception, and our perception is tiny. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. There's two ways you can look at things, which is from the bottom up, because we came down, we settled here. Hey, where am I? Who am I? No, okay, let me see what's around me. What is this all about? Let me find out. So you start looking around, and you start looking further, and you want to reach to spirit,
Yeah.
right? But then there's the other way of looking at things, which is from the top down, from spirit down into the body. And when you look from the top down, you have a much wider perspective, right? So you we look at the physical reality, and we feel the sensations and the emotions and these perceptions that are that makes us human. But then the mind interprets, and it transmits to spirit. The In the body, the Greeks called it anima, the soul. Call it anima. Anima, it's what animates the body. You have an animated party. Everyone is having, it's lively, right? It's alive. Anima, like an animal, it has life in it, right? So anima is that electromagnetic pulse that starts in the heart of the fetus, right? Nobody knows what causes it.
Right.
Because it's electromagnetic pulse that creates the flow of the body that feeds the rest of the brain
Hmm.
and the other organs, right? And so the second aspect of the soul is the psyche, is anima and psyche, which is the mind that is an interpreter. You interpret the feelings, sensations of this reality, and you transmit it to being, to the spirit, and
Yeah.
vice versa. If you are open enough, you can actually receive the messages that come from spirit and voice them into the
Existence.
material
Yeah.
world, into vibration, right? So that's why your word should always be in honor and in truth. Yeah. So
Yeah.
um, it is very important. So yeah, we are all here experiencing this reality, and I came to the conclusion to the realization that there's no such thing as equality. They give us the biggest bullshit nonsense story. Oh, we are equal before the law. Really?
Yeah. No. Yeah. What law?
No matter how much- yeah. No matter how much I try, I can never, ever, ever be equal to you or anybody else.
Yeah.
Like you, there's only you in this entire universe. So
Exactly.
we are not equal. We are, each and every single one of us, we are unique, regardless of your skin color, of your race or your tribe or whatever it is. When you speak to another being, you're speaking to one unique being that you should respect and love as if it's the greatest being.
Well,
you know
if it's real, because we came to know that there is a lot of
no,
NPCs
ego.
going on.
There's a lot of ego out there.
I think
Yeah.
I don't know if it's an ego kind of thing anymore. I think it is really the NPC's characteristic. because like you and me and the people that we talk, we know they are real, because they have this passion, this fire. Like, I love to hear you when you speak, because I can, it's not the words, I'm not listening to the words, but it's the fire that comes within, you know let him speak, he wants to speak as well.
Yeah, she likes to talk a lot.
Let him talk.
Their language.
And that's the thing that fascinates me, because when you are speaking with someone like an NPC, or a soulless being, you don't feel that. On the contrary, you feel like this, uh, you know,
Yes, going off.
yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And I think that more and more we are awakening. I mean, I don't know. The other day I was having, yes, you are completely right.
Nina,
He's telling that he's real. Let him be real. I was talking to someone and I was asking that probably it's not by chance that we are here at this point in time. Yeah. What is your thoughts on
oh
that?
no, yeah, yeah, no, definitely. You know, throughout my life experience, and I'm over 50 already. I mean, I'm almost 60.
Oh my God.
I can believe it. Even yesterday, I was playing with the other kids.
We will
Doing
probably need 60 more of these podcasts to take everything that you know.
well, yeah. So you know, your beingness is your real you, and throughout my life experiences, I've realized that nothing, absolutely nothing, happened by chance. I had to meet the people I've met, good and bad situations. I had to learn the things I have learned, good and bad. Because people create resentments and revenge and hatred and all this. You know, when I've realized that even those ones that made me suffer, they actually made me be stronger.
Yeah.
And so you must see them as pieces of the puzzle. They had to be there for you to experience that negative experience, and so you forgive. First, you need to forgive yourself. In Portuguese, forgive is perdoar, or
Mhm.
that comes from Latin perdonare. Perdonare, which means by donation. For give, to give ahead, before, right?
Yeah.
So uh, we should never take anything for granted, and we should always be grateful, and forgive everybody else, and forgive ourselves. Even, I mean, we have done shit sometimes. We have done things that we wished we haven't.
Oh,
But
no, no, no. I embrace every single one of my
yeah,
things.
because we shall.
That's one of the things that I learned, and I think I learned it quite in an early stage, is that I used to be ashamed of the things I've done, because I used to like be a people pleaser. And there was a time there in my life where I decided to embrace every single shit piece of myself, because, like you said, I am unique. No one does the shit that I do the way I do it.
Exactly. Exactly. And so that's another thing that religions use, which is guilt. Besides that,
Exactly.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
another tool of control,
Yeah.
right? And when you realize that you shall not be controlled, neither by fear or guilt, you gain the power, and you realize, no, wait, I've done nonsense. If I can repair, I will apologize, I'll do whatever I can, in order to repair the damage that
Yeah.
I've caused, if need be. but you shall never delve in this feelings of guilt, because these are very low vibrations, like João Coelho put the word vibração there.
Yeah.
Everything is vibration. And so we can choose. We are in control, the dominion of of your domain.
Well, I love that word, dumb, like a dumb. Yeah, because we are in the dumb, apparently. you know, and minion.
Yeah.
I kind of like that word a lot. I went to etymology and I broke down the word and I went and see what
Yeah.
was the
Well, it's actually Luis is my second name,
yeah.
because my first name is Domingos.
Oh, dom.
Domini, Domini, in
Yeah,
Italian, in Latin, Domini, which is the dominion.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
was born on a Sunday.
Yeah, and there is another word, the trickiest word ever, which is freedom.
Yeah.
So free in a dome, it doesn't make
No,
sense.
no. It's the dominion of the free,
What
because
do you mean?
there is liberty, or in Portuguese we say liberdade.
Yeah, you see that word,
Dade
it
is
makes
is a
yeah,
gift.
yeah, that word in Portuguese makes more sense than the
Yeah.
freedom, which the
No,
freedom, it seems to me like you want to be free in a dome.
no.
No?
Because you have kingdom, right?
Yeah,
What is a kingdom? It's the
a dome.
dominion of the
It's a
king.
dome again. It's a king inside of of a cage. Everything is inside of the
It's
cage.
the
And,
dominion
and
of
the
the
word
king.
Portuguese, you don't see the cage in the words.
But it's tricky in Portuguese, because it's
Liberdade.
liberdade, like autoridade,
Yeah.
author, that
Yeah.
given, it's a
Author.
given authorship,
Yeah.
which doesn't exist. There is no authority. There's only author, I be.
Yeah.
You are the author. Yeah. When you give authority to somebody else, you're actually giving your authorship away. So you are the author. You can only be the author, and you can be the master of your creation. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You can master it if you dedicate yourself to perfect your creation, whichever can be. Like you do hair, we do music, or we paint, or we do carpentry, or whatever. But when you really master the art, you are the master. So there
Yeah.
is no authority. The author, I be. And so liberdade comes from Latin liber, which is free.
Yeah.
Dade is given. In English, you say liberty, which is given freedom. Wait, but who is there to give me the freedom? I am free already. I'm not
Yeah.
going to accept something else that it's abundant in me. I don't need to be given by who? The state, the United Nations, the king? Who? No. They have no authority over me, because I am the
Exactly.
author, and I am the master of my creations. So yeah, the language is very tricky, because it has been designed to trap us. And people, now something that I was explaining to some, I think it was Mena today. I always explain this. We coming to the end of April, right, which is supposed to be the first month
Yeah.
of the year. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have the 1st of May. Just to show you how they, in less than 100 years, they have manipulated the May festival into a day of protest, and you have to fight
Yeah.
for your rights, and so on and so on. What happened in our ancient history on the 1st of May? It was the day of spring. It was the celebration of youth and fertility and happiness. And the boys and the girls used to come to town, and they used to dance around the pole with these colorful
Oh yeah, I remember yeah, there was some
the ribbons. They
yeah,
were all,
ribbons.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the maypole dance. It's a symbol of happiness and fertility and abundance. And the boys and the girls used to get together and have babies or make babies.
Oh,
Yeah,
let's grow the incarnation process then.
it was life. It was life everywhere. And in less than 100 years, these leftist thinkers, they have turned the 1st of May into something totally the opposite.
Yeah,
Which is a day of protest and
yeah.
workers' day, slave day.
Workers' Day.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's insane because they are shifting, they are turning, or they have been
Yeah, that's
turning
that's that's one of
everything
the
upside
things.
down.
Who do you think? Well, if we can't say it, if we, me and you, we have the same thought, we don't say it. We just point to the thing. Yeah, but who do you think made all this manipulation? I give you my thoughts. Who do you think it is? In your perspective, who do you think that fucked up the history, the books, everything like they did?
Well, who, like in a person or a group of people, or
Yeah, well, yeah, mine is a group of people, yeah.
those with the long noses?
Yeah, don't say it. Do you think it is the same or
Okay,
not?
okay. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, but going back into historical facts, you go to
You can
to
read a lot. You can read a lot
simple.
that it's been
si-
damaged as well.
You know
Ooh.
the two-headed eagle.
Yeah,
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 there's one head pointing east and one head pointing west, right? And,
right.
and so there is no such a thing as the European continent.
Yeah,
Because if you know the definition of a continent, Europe is not one.
yep,
There is the Eurasian continent. It's one continent. It's not two, Europe and Asia. So somewhere in the middle, the double-headed eagle is pointing.
yeah,
The one eagle,
yeah. I
and
know.
so
I'm
yeah.
with you. I'm with you. Yeah, yeah. We have to find like a source code for that word. Yeah, because I think I've been digging a lot lately on that subject because for me it was like a surprise, to be honest, I was far, far away of knowing that thing was like that. So yeah, the things that I found out, yeah, my chin just dropped.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I
yeah.
had no clue. And I had no clue
That's why.
specifically how they were big in Portugal.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
and, and all the manipulations that happened throughout historical times, or the events, the main events in our history. Even, well, there's another theory that I'm sure you heard about, the earthquake in Lisbon, 1755.
Yeah.
There's a theory that it didn't really happen the way they say it did, because at the time, you see, the port of Lisbon, who was living there? Fishermen and
Yeah.
sailors and
Yeah.
rats, and it
Yeah,
was dirty,
yeah,
and it
that's
was
that's one of my things. I always try to think in terms of logistic. Yeah,
yeah,
and there is parts and pieces in the his story of Portugal that I can't quite pinpoint my thing, because in terms of logistic, if you go back to the ancient maps, you see that Portugal wasn't what it is today on the map. Yeah,
Mm.
it was just a quarter of that, right?
Well, I'm not sure which maps you're talking about.
Okay, we can find
Yeah.
some of them. I can find some of them to show you.
Okay. Okay.
But this is what I found out, that, and this is for me, it's like, how the hell did these people went and through this, like, see ahead and did all the things that they say they did? Were they the ones who did it? Well, now I know, because I found Aaron Lopez. Yeah.
Okay.
That one, and I discovered that, okay, here we have it. Because for me, that was something that was always in the back of my mind, like, how the hell did that happen? It doesn't make any sense, you know?
Well, the people were used, right?
Mm,
Because um, they cannot stand free people, and like they have. Um, yeah, someone says red, white, and blue are the colors of freedom in the UK until you see them flashing in your rear view mirror.
that's Anthony.
And
When we have Anthony in the house, we can expect.
yeah,
I don't know if you noticed the other one, that the other comment that he said before this one, but he's always, yeah. I'm
uh,
gonna pull it out. Look, if you want to read it.
how can you expect the unexpected? If you're expecting the unexpected, then it's not unexpected, it's expected. Well, exactly.
We
Yeah.
love you, Anthony.
So, yeah. Anyway, so basically, like everywhere else, these ancient native peoples existed and they were free peoples.
Yeah,
And so, how did kingdoms come about? It's, very simple because, you know, if you go into nature, it happens with the birds and the bees. A man meets a woman and then you have babies, right?
yeah,
After a few years, you have a family, and then you have grandparents and so on, and you have a little community, right? A little
mm,
family, extended family tribe. And that's the way people around the world live and exist, right? You farm, you hunt, you do whatever needs to be done in order to feed your family and in order to keep your body alive, right? But now all of a sudden there's a bunch of guys in a horseback, and they come and they burn a few houses, and you go like, hey, 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 stop! What the fuck? Why are you doing this? Oh, no, this land belongs to King so and so and so, and you go like, ooh, what? Okay, I don't know anybody King so what? So I know it doesn't matter if you know, but you have to give us 10% of everything you own. Your chickens, your goats, your horses. It's for us 10% or 20 or whatever. They steal. So all kingdoms are created based on theft.
yeah,
That's how they have the power. They need us. We don't need them because we can manage perfectly without law, without rulers, without kings and queens and presidents and all this bullshit parasites. That's all they are. And they need us. And the people go, oh, yes, I'll pay my taxes, I'll pay my fines and I'll be happy. And they are just being extorted. Anyway.
yeah.
So we don't need to comply with any of that. That's why Viriato
Mhm.
was terror of the Romans, because until this day we are ruled by the Romans. In the courts in the Western world, it's Roman law that
Yeah.
exists, and
Yeah.
that was imposed through genocide, treason, assassination, and that's how they conquered. We get Viriato only led the Lusitanian people for 8 years before he was
Mm.
assassinated, right? But the Lusitanian people fought the Romans for 200 years. For 200 years, they could not get onto these lands. Also, like they didn't get into Scotland, and when they got into the Germanic tribes, they were defeated. And so apparently there was the collapse of the Roman Empire, which is bullshit nonsense, because
Yeah. Yeah.
right after the Romans, who came? The Visigoths, the Germans. And what did they do? They created the foundations for the Catholic, the Roman Church. So okay, the Romans were defeated by the Germanic tribes, but then the Germanic tribes invaded the Iberian Peninsula in order to create the foundations for the Roman Church. And still today we have the Roman law in the courts and all this bullshit
Yeah.
nonsense
Yeah.
happening.
They say Rom- Ro- Germanic, Roman Germanic law. It's the thing,
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's what they say. So what um, the tiny hats, they controlled the church. They got infiltrated like they do. They infiltrate everything they can possibly do, and they undermine um, everything. Whether it's religion or political systems or schools, they undermine the things, so so they can control and manipulate, because they believe that each and every single one of them will have 2,000 and some slaves.
Mm.
So this is they it doesn't matter. We
Yeah.
know, and we are not
It doesn't really matter because it's there and we are here now. And I think what is most important is what are we going to do about it, right?
exactly.
What do I know? So what do I do with the
You
information and with the capacity that I have now of finally seeing things without
Yeah,
the veils?
you know
Yeah,
what you can do. You don't comply.
exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
I
There is
I
nothing to go against because you have no master. So yeah,
no,
no
I
master, no slave.
they keep on threatening me of spending some days in jail, you know,
Yeah.
because of some stupid charge of disobedience. Can you believe it? I am apparently qualified disobedient.
Did you get a diploma? Did you get a diploma?
It's apparently, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, bring it on. If I'm going to,
Yeah.
it will be more expensive for them to keep me there for like a month or whatever they want.
Imagine with your knowledge in one of those facilities.
Oh, I had
You
the-
come with Indonesia.
I had this experience already. I spent 3 weeks there in one of the worst jails in South Africa.
Wow.
Yeah, because of
So,
well, I didn't stop at the stop sign. And then I didn't have number plates. I didn't have any papers. I was just driving. Yeah. And then I challenged the judge, and I was still learning at the time, like, what did I say? I am one of the people, and I declare this court a court of record. The guy, nobody's gonna take over my court today, and I'm like, whoa.
whoa. Did I poke the bear too much?
Yeah. So he's like trying, and he's asking, where do you come from? I come from my mother. Are you a citizen? No. Anyway, so he eventually he says, "Oh, I think you're not fit to understand these proceedings, so I'm going to send you for a psychological evaluation." you know, so and then he lied. He lied to, oh, but there's no
Yeah,
room in the psychological facilities, the psychiatric facilities, whatever. So you have to be detained for until there's availability there. So, right. So okay, well, fine, whatever. What can you do? And for me, that was like a that experience was like a spiritual trampoline,
yeah.
realizing. And there was a lawyer that came from the state,
A liar?
yeah, no, she came and she says, "Oh, I'm curious about your case, and this and that." And she's asking me all these questions, and I'm like, and she goes like, she stands up, you know what? There's a lot of people out there that are not as free as what you are in here. you know so after 17 days or whatever, eventually there's a room in the facilities, psychiatric hospital, whatever that was.
Yeah,
And the first day I arrived there, well, they take me there, and I'm speaking to the as we walking to the desk. So why you been arrested? And he said, I'm telling him this and that. And as we walk, the guy sits down at his desk and listening to the story. And he looks up at me and he says, "You know what? I think the judge is the one who's supposed to be here." But in the meantime, while I was there, amongst the worst criminals, there were murderers. I mean, we were 70 people in a cell where there was supposed to be about 40, right? And there was only like 5 or 6 white guys. The rest are all blacks, But I had crowds of people around me listening to my stories, and come listen to this guy, and they are listening, and so I'm telling them stories. So yeah, I don't think they want me there
amazing,
because it was
amazing.
the worst experience that
No,
they can ever have. I mean,
true
it's not
that.
four walls that are going to keep me from being free,
Yeah,
unless they inject me with some shit, But and they make me, lose my ability to think. I don't know. Anyway,
which is the. Let's go to the next segment then.
yeah,
We are 1 hour in,
yeah.
and okay, so this one here, I will bring some ancient pictures of Portugal. Yeah, and we will probably speak a little bit about it. You give us your thoughts on what you think. Yeah, so this one is Sri Lanka, Dutch engraving of their 17th century landing at Manar and the subsequent defeat of the Portuguese. So Sri Lanka had always been an import port and trading, yada yada yada. Okay, can you see this? Everything okay? Well, this was a painting. Yeah.
Okay, but what's happening there? Some fighting or what? No, not really.
No,
They're
what
just
what do you think?
they're just
So
landing.
apparently, it says that this is a Dutch engraving of the
Oh, that's good.
17th century in Sri Lanka, and it was the defeat of the Portuguese. So
Oh,
finally,
okay.
the Portuguese were defeated in Sri
Yeah, no,
Lanka.
these guys were pirates. The Dutch, they
Yeah,
created the East Indies Company, the
yeah.
Jesuits, the Jesuit Dutch, and they created an empire based
Hmm.
on piracy,
Okay.
stealing from the Spanish and the Portuguese. Because the Portuguese were traveling, and they weren't really murdering and assassinating, because according to what I can tell, the Portuguese always tried to make trade and to have good relationships with the peoples that they um, dealt with. That's how we got Macau. Because
Mm-hmm.
the Portuguese actually helped the emperor, or whatever, the Japanese
Mm-hmm.
emperor, defeating the pirates. And so the island was given to the Portuguese as a thank you, whatever. So we had a colony, so to say, in
Yeah.
Macau, and Goa, Damau, Diu in India. These cities were controlled by the Portuguese, but not on like a conquering kind of attitude. As far as I
Mm-hmm.
can tell, I wasn't there. I mean, I don't remember being there,
Yeah, no.
but but even in Angola and Mozambique, I
Yeah.
believe that
Let's move to another one then. Let's move to this one. Yeah, it kind of look like gypsies, doesn't it?
well, yeah, the Portuguese people. Where is this? Lisbon? No, yeah,
Yeah, well, this here
the
says
town
that
there.
this is the Portuguese people preparing a pillar feast outdoor in Portugal, playing and drinking, ancient grey tone, hatching style art by De Burgh, published on 1861.
Yeah,
So this is 1861. What I find amazing is all this ancient architecture
architecture.
here,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, this kind of looks a mixture, like you said before. Kind of looks a mixture because when you look at the Portuguese, yeah, you can't tell that. Yeah, yeah, they are Portuguese. You know.
yeah. Well, I live here close to Silves,
Hmm.
which was the capital of the Kingdom of the Algarve, right? And every year they have this medieval fest, and we learn a lot because this place was after the Visigoths, the
Hmm.
Moors took over. No, yeah, after the Visigoths and they stayed for a long time. So
Yeah.
we got a lot of interaction. There was peaceful dealings with the different peoples, um, Jewish,
Hmm.
Muslim, Christians lived in harmony and in peace. And there's still some poetry and art from the Islamic times that is still being portrayed and spoken. And there's lots of legends about Moras encantadas, like Moorish
Hmm.
princesses that are
Yeah.
enchanted and magics and so on. So there was until the Vatican decided, okay, now we're going to make this place a Christian place, and so let's chase the first the Moors, but we still have the Morarias in Lisbon,
Yeah.
which was the place where the Moors were relegated to trade and to
Where
kill the
do you
civilians.
see? Do you see this picture? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Guess where is this picture from? Where do you think this picture is from?
This picture.
Hmm. What does it was it when I saw this picture the first time, my thoughts were like, oh, this is like Friends or something.
I can't tell because I don't recognize. But in the old days, there used to be these street lamps,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
they destroyed most of these buildings.
This
Is
is
this?
this is in Rio de Janeiro.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah, Portuguese immigrant in the city of Rio de Janeiro.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and yeah, they
I mean, look at the building.
they were there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that this is Rio. Not at all. I would say that this is either France or yeah,
yeah,
even
somewhere in
Portugal.
Europe.
Yeah,
You'll find some places in America, in North
yeah,
America, like this.
mhm,
Yeah,
yeah.
But
And
they
the other day I was watching, and Lisbon is the oldest city of Europe, even older than London.
yeah, you know what it means, Lisbon?
Hmm. No.
It comes from Olisipo.
Hmm.
Does it say anything to you?
Olisip, yeah, the god, yeah,
Ulysses, the
yeah,
hero.
yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, Ulysses. Uh huh.
So, the tale goes that Odysseus,
Yeah.
Ulysses, was, he was one of the heroes from the Battle of Troy. And then, after the winning the war, they went back to Ithaca, which was where he was from. But
Hmm.
then a massive storm happened, and him and his sailors were lost at sea for like 15 years or so. And so throughout these adventures and like the whole Odyssey from Homer, there's a place where he landed, and where he met the nymph Calypso, and they stayed there amongst the nymphs, the sailors, and that's the seven hill city, which is Lisbon or Olisipo. That,
Hmm.
it refers to
Yeah.
Odysseus. This is
Yeah,
Madeira
this
or
is Macau.
Macau.
This one,
Okay.
Macau. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very similar, isn't it? Everything you see, you kind of go like, hmm,
A sort
wow,
of
yeah.
Macau,
So,
ancient. Oh,
yeah,
the, yeah.
I think, let me see, what does it say? Small island of the mainland of Yangshan in the Guangdong province. Yeah, it's weird. It's really, really weird. The things that when you start looking at them, you go like, hmm. Oh, another thing I want to ask you. Do you see this? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the Portuguese.
Caravel.
No, no, the floor.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. The calçada.
Yeah,
Calçada
very,
portuguesa. Yeah.
very, very Portuguese, very
Yeah.
typical. Yeah,
But still some towns where the streets are all made like that. Stone,
yeah,
calçada.
yeah. But you only see this in Portugal, right?
Okay. Well, yeah. There's calçada portuguesa, yeah.
You would, yeah, right. You would think, yeah, this is only Portuguese because it's a Portuguese thing. Yeah, but no, there is things like this. Well, not with the same, like the caravel and all of that, but with other drawings in other places. And you would think that, yeah, but this is like a very typical Portuguese kind of thing. Yeah, like the picture says, typical Portuguese decorative paving called calçada portuguesa. Yeah,
But where is
this
it?
is this picture is in. Yeah,
In where?
then you have this. Look at this. you know this is in Porto City. Look at the details of that lion, right? I mean, how did they build this? Who
Yeah.
built this? Who built this? Were the Portuguese? But weren't they sailing and and doing other stuff? When was this built? There are so many questions that I feel like, yeah, there are no answers for them. Yeah, I remember seeing one of these. Yeah, this is a Portuguese pavilion. Where I've seen one of these, that it's their like their like that the meeting house or a camera or something. Same thing like this in Zanzibar. in the, oh my god, I'm talking to myself. We lose Leuko. Well, yeah, let's wait a little bit. I think he left me alone. Oh my god. Yeah, guys. We lost Loki. I noticed that his internet was a little bit um giving us a little bit of a prank, but um let's see if he can come back. Um but yeah, analyzing all these pictures, you still go like, very weird indeed. Oh, here it is. Oh, you
Sorry,
back.
I'm I'm back.
Yeah, I was saying we lost you, but no, you're back. You're back. Yeah, so we had people saying that probably in Asia, some of the pictures. Yeah, we had people saying also we have gnostic ball baseball is listening. I was asking, where are you, Leoki? And everybody here. Okay, thanks, guys. Yeah,
All
we will
right.
continue then. Okay, so what can you tell us about this one, the Belém Tower? This is like a mark for Portugal, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that is it's actually built on water.
Hmm.
Well, I'm not sure what it was used for, but I think when the ships used to bring stuff from the colonies, from India and so on,
Hmm.
they used to offload somewhere there. Probably
Yeah,
I don't know if they had some sort of cranes or whatever, but it actually imitates a ship.
yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and yeah, I actually haven't done some research regarding the monument.
yeah. I don't know why it's that as well over there, but then yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Then we have the Portuguese fortress of Cananor. Do you know what this is?
Which one?
This one, Cananor.
Canonor. Where?
Yeah, I don't even know what the hell is this. I don't know. I never seen this in my life. Where part of Portugal is this one?
Canonor.
Yeah, Cananor.
Canonor. Uh, don't know.
Did you see anything?
um,
The fortress,
it's
the Portuguese fortress.
it's in India. there
Oh, okay.
was a battle, Battle of Cananor,
Uh huh.
1506. Between, well, the Indian fleet and the Portuguese fleet. The
Yeah.
Indians had about 200 and 100 ships. uh, they joined with the Ottomans,
Hmm.
and but the Portuguese won. Uh,
Oh,
but then
okay.
they lost it. They lost it again.
Then they lost it again.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
this picture here. Can you see it? Yeah.
yeah,
This one here, well, it's not a picture, it's more a portrait or something. It says the Islamic Moors winning the Battle of Alcácer Quibir,
oh yeah,
aka Alcácer and Battle of the Three Knights, fought in the northern Morocco.
yeah.
But
That's the,
Alcácer isn't it in Portugal?
no. This is in Morocco. That's where King Sebastian disappeared,
Yeah.
but he was actually captured. and taken, I think, to Italy. And so
Okay.
he never came back because obviously he was still very young. He was maybe 18
Hmm.
or something like that. And so the legend says that the Portuguese people are still waiting for King Sebastian in order to save the nation, right? He will appear in some misty morning from the seas, and when he comes, the Portugal will regain its glory and blah 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 blah.
Okay.
The
So this
thing
one
is,
is near the town of Czar El Kebir on
yeah,
4th of August, 1578. The
yeah.
convent,
As a youngster, he wanted to be the hero. Oh, let's go and fight the Moors, and let's be the hero. But he got fucked
oh yeah, yeah.
because the
Yeah, it says
Spaniards,
here. Yeah.
the Spaniards always they never accepted the loss, because we actually several attempts they tried to recover the county of Portugal, but
Yeah.
they didn't manage because we fought them. And so they tried, and there they succeeded, because after King Sebastian, he didn't have like a follower to the throne. And so the Spaniards, they it's the dynasty, the Philippine dynasty, until the the
Yeah.
the Spanish representative of the king was thrown off the window
Mhm.
of the of the palace. The people got tired of their bullshit nonsense, and they just threw him out of the window. In That was in 1640, somewhere there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, as I was saying there, the Portuguese are a mix of several peoples, like from the Visigothic times, we have lots of Germanic uh,
Mhm.
blood, besides the native Lusitanians, because you have your own Lusitanian DNA that can be
Yeah.
traced way back in time. But then we have a whole lot of Jewish people that mixed with the Portuguese, and Moorish, and so on and so on. And we always had interactions with different. There were many Africans also in Portugal. I think there was even no, a king or a pope. There was an African. I can't remember exactly who that was. Anyway,
Oh, hello. You're back. You're back.
yeah, this is one of the, Mason, Fernando
Yeah, we
Pessoa,
have Diogo. Diogo is asking about the star
the Star
forts.
Force.
Yeah, do you know
Well,
any in Portugal?
yeah, Tomar is one of them.
Oh, okay.
It's an impressive piece of. It's not even architecture. It's way more than that. It's terraforming, because the whole mountain is the fort,
Yeah.
right? And it was shaped in the shape of a star, and that is where they say that Christopher Columbus studied, and where he got the maps to go and discover the new world, as they say.
Yeah.
Tomar.
Okay, so we have a map here of the star forts. Yeah, so we have quite a few of them, yeah?
What is there one in Albufeira?
There is one in uh uh uh,
Tavira?
uh yeah. No, you have Tavira, Peniche, Elvas, Estreboz. Yeah.
But the place where I was last weekend is really spectacular. It's not a star fort. It's
Huh.
way back in time where the Lusitanians fought against the Romans. It's called Monsanto.
Wow, look at this one. Where is this one? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you see, this is all terraforming because the whole
Hmm.
mountain is been terraformed. It's not even architecture, it's way more than just architecture, right?
Wow.
And they supposedly didn't have machines.
Yeah, how? How? This is where I get my ding 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 ding. What is going on here?
Yeah.
So this is like, whoa. And this one, look at this one. This is the fortress of Almeida. And it's amazing because from you can only see it.
Yeah, from high,
Yeah,
way
from high
up high.
ground.
Yeah.
But why would they build this?
Because, well, supposedly, this is the most efficient defense shape.
Hmm.
Even in Sagres, you have these points, because from one point you can protect the next, apparently. So I don't know if that is the case,
Yeah.
but yeah, this goes back
Okay,
in.
but were they fighting all the time that they need
I
to
don't
build
know.
this?
I don't know really.
It
it's
doesn't make any sense.
it's
Yeah.
probably, yeah,
I
because,
kind of think, yeah, go ahead.
well,
Yeah, you have this one. I think this one is in Lisbon. Yeah, in Cascais.
okay,
Yeah, this one is in Cascais. This here.
this one with the village inside.
Yeah, yeah. Can you see?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, this one here. See if I can center this a little bit more. Yeah,
yeah. This fort there, yeah. In
yeah.
Sagres, you also have we have one close by in Sagres.
Yeah, but I mean, there are some things that I feel like there are no answers. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, it's just wow, 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 wow. We have uh, uh, uh. Okay, so we have people here that want you to talk about Monsanto.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can you get some images?
yeah. I can. I can give you whatever you want. The stage is yours.
Yeah,
Let me see. Anything
because,
in specifics or
well,
anything?
just type Monsanto in where Covilhã. What is it? Monsanto, Portugal. Uh, try.
The park, Lisbon.
No, Castelo. Castelo.
Oh, okay.
It's there. You just have, yeah.
Which one? The second one? The
No, no. Oh, yeah, yeah. Castelo Branco. Yeah.
yeah. Oh wow.
I was there this last weekend. Look
Sweet.
at the houses built
This.
amongst those massive boulders.
What the hell is this? You kidding me, right?
Yeah, the whole village is like that. It's amazing. That's where I got the t-shirt. Yeah,
Wow.
because that's where the Lusitanians fought against the Romans. And from the top, you know, you can see, you have a 360-degree sight all the way. You can see the mountains, Serra da
Uh-huh.
Estrela. You can see, like the whole place. It's really, really amazing. And
Wow.
Monsanto obviously means sacred mountain.
Yeah, Sacred Mountain.
Monte Santo, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So history says that it was conquered by the Moors. I mean, that
Mhm.
was built by the Moors, but well, the Lusitanians were there way before the Moors built some walls. Because yeah, this is
These are huge balls of rock.
really, really huge, really. And there's some houses that use them, as walls.
It looks like it's gonna break the house. The house is right underneath it.
Yeah, yeah,
No, it's a cafe.
yeah. Probably the one. Yeah, that's exactly where I bought the T-shirt.
Oh my dear.
We had a
Listen,
couple
I
of
never
beers
saw
there
this.
because from
Amazing.
there you can see the whole landscape to the west and the south from this little table there.
Wow. We have agnostic baseball asking, you would expect the same architecture in Morocco and Gibraltar. No, completely different, isn't it, Loki?
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing like this because they are more Arabic, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we do have, especially in the south, a lot of Arabic architecture influences. Um,
Yeah.
but these, some
No,
of
no, no. But
these,
is asking if it would be expect the same architecture in Morocco and Gibraltar.
maybe the Star Forts is referring to, or
Yeah, but not like this one, like not like this rocks. Yeah, because
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, that's
when
a
we
unique.
go more to the south of Portugal, like and even Spain, like Almeria and all of that, you can see that there is a big influence of Arabic in there.
Yeah, but we have one castle that, I mean, it's not far from here, and it's Alfers, and
Hmm.
this. It's positioned in, it's such a strategic place. I don't know how these guys, I mean, you could only have something like that built in these places because the way it looks towards Spain, from the Algarvian mountain, you can
Hmm.
actually see all the way through, the whole of the Algarvian coast, practically, all the way to Sagres. You can see the end of the Finisterre, the end of the
Yeah.
land, in Sagres, from where this castle, the ruins, because there's not much left. But they always come up. Oh, it was the Moors that built. It was the Moors that. But there's some of these places have been built way, way before the Moors. Especially
It's
this
amazing. I'm gobsmacked with this. I never saw this.
the whole castle, which is right on.
You say this is in Castelo Branco, yeah?
It's close to. It's about 1 hour away from Castelo Branco. Yeah. From there,
Oh, okay.
the top where the highest part of the castle is really impressive because those stones, they are cut to perfection, just like over the ridge. I don't know how they
Yeah.
put there. It's really amazing. Yeah,
Look at this. I would love to have a house like this.
yeah.
do
Some of those
you
houses
think
are,
that
they are
do you think
abandoned.
that it goes inside of the rock, or is just this like a her
No,
front
no,
thing.
that they only use the space in between the boulders, obviously. Yeah,
Ah, okay.
they only use the space, and
Yeah, but
so
there
yeah,
is some. But there is some. Are you sure about that?
throughout the
I see
whole
some
village.
I see some windows over here.
Uh, yeah, I can also see a face. But
Can always see a face too.
anyway, some of these houses are abandoned.
Really?
Yeah, is so they are just left there, and so the municipality, there was already a couple of cases. They kind of they use an ancient common law principle, which is uso capião. And
Mm.
if one property has not been used for like more than 15 years, and you go and you occupy it and you take over, and you build a good relationship with the neighbors and nobody
Yeah.
complains, you can keep it for yourself.
Oh, okay.
And so there's
Look at
lots of
this.
people buying these little
This
ruined.
looks like a little bit of an egg.
Yeah.
Look at the view, man. Look at the
Oh yeah,
view.
the view is amazing. Yeah,
You need to bring your pictures, the pictures that you took, so we can have a look at them.
yeah. Can I share?
You can share the screen if you go here where it says present,
Yeah.
and then if you can add your screen if you want to share it. I think you have
Oh,
better pictures than the ones in the Google.
okay. Computer.
Yeah, I will keep looking. Yeah, but
Oh,
like they were saying, how the hell did they build this? I don't know. It's beyond me.
the big boulders were there. They just built the
Hmm.
houses using, the, the materials that
Yeah,
are
but
local.
even still, this is all rock. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all cut
all of this.
from the local materials. There's plenty of it. So
Yeah, but how many days did took you did it take you to
I,
build this?
it's the
I
whole.
mean, I'm trying to build. You know what? You know why I'm saying this? I'm trying to build a thing with pallets for my bins. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm such a forget it. I was trying to screw the thing, and that thing wasn't screwing, because I can't screw. That's the thing.
Yeah, well, that's
It's just hilarious.
I like to work with
Yeah, hilarious, hilarious.
and
Yeah.
build things in wood.
What?
I like to build things in wood.
Yeah, I have pallets, and I love to do that. Yeah, do it yourself kind of thing.
If you
But
cut
for
it,
me, it takes me ages.
you use nails. But
Yeah, but I saw them on YouTube doing with the thing, and they stay. If I'm there nailing the thing, I probably will get the hammer on my
well,
forehead or something.
a tool is like an instrument. You need to feel it.
Yeah,
You
I'm
need
good with this type of tools. The
well,
scissor and the comb. I'm really
that's
good with those.
that's fine. Your hands get adapt to all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Some of the most
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, but I'm challenging myself. I want to build one of those, and I'm gonna build it. I don't care if it's gonna be wonky or I don't care. I want to look at it and say I did it myself.
Exactly. But you can look some videos. Sometimes I watch some Japanese carpentry work, and that's really phenomenal. They don't use nails
Oh my
or
god!
glue or screws.
Yeah,
It's they work
yeah,
to
I've seen some of
perfection.
those. Yeah,
It's really, really impressive. I
No, it's not just impressive. I look at the girls' tiny little things working super fast, and I want to try to screw two pallets to each other, and I can't do it. Oh God. But it's in things like this that you can see that, oh my God, we've been so dumbed down, you know.
Yeah, they don't tell us the whole story.
Ridiculous. Yeah,
Yeah.
ridiculous. Okay, so we've seen this. So you can't share your screen, yeah?
Well, it says
Then
to
you're
show slides. I don't have it on slides. I shared some on Telegram.
you can open a window on your screen, yeah?
Okay, okay.
And then you can go to present, and at the bottom says share screen.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you
I
can
see.
share.
Yeah, okay. A tab. No, I don't want a tab. I want to share from Telegram.
Oh, you
uh,
have to open probably
window.
Telegram.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or okay, here entire screen.
yeah.
Uh,
And if you have that open, then you can share it.
try here. No, built-in display. No, built-in display. What is this? Okay, all right. So now,
In the
let
meantime, guys, if you want to ask any questions, just go ahead, put them in the thingy there. Go ahead, feel free. Pop the questions into the question box. Yeah, you did it? No, not yet.
okay here. All right. So and now, how do I?
If you come here where it says present, you click
Yeah.
on it.
Wait.
Yeah, then it says share screen.
Oh shit! I
Then you
have
can share.
open the browser again. Okay. Share. All right. Okay.
Yeah,
So
there he is. Yeah,
okay.
we
Now
got
let
it.
me
We
do
got it.
this.
Yeah, but it's our two faces in the screen. Yep, that's it. That's it. Brilliant. Just open in the pictures.
Okay. Can you see this?
I can see it, but do you want? Oh yeah, yeah. That's good. That's good. I'm gonna add it to the stream now. Yep, brilliant. Wow.
If you look there in the center, there I am.
Yeah.
And now you see the shape of these rocks. They as if they were put on top of each other. Like these.
Yeah. They are bent.
Yeah.
Wow.
And right there's a different view. That's one
Hmm.
of those little um, houses used for cattle or whatever.
Yeah.
Like this little
Wow.
stone circles and all these little the streets that you go all the way up the mountain and down. You'll find some really you can spend the whole day in this little village right on the top of the mountain. It's amazing. Yeah. Oh.
There you are.
Okay, I guess that's it. That's the only pictures I shared on
Wow.
Telegram. So the others I still have them on my phone. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's really good. Really, really nice.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I have Mena saying that she shared some of the pictures with me.
All right.
Yeah, we'll have a look. Yeah, I will have a look at them later. I'm not gonna do everything today because we are almost on the 2 hour mark. So I'm gonna invite Leoko to come to his house again, to the house of the divergence that we are, amazing divergence that we are, and to say goodbye. I'm gonna pop up some pictures or some images in the screen, and I'm gonna ask you to give your 2 cents or 10 cents or even $1 if you wish, or an euro. So the first picture that we have is this one. So telling the truth and making someone cry is better than telling a lie and making someone smile. What do you have to say about this one?
Yeah, it's the truth is tough. It takes balls, for you to tell the truth the whole time. uh, and it's yeah, it's just the way it is. It's the highest. I consider the truth to be the supreme law, if there is such a thing as law. let I we
Yeah,
had I had a discussion with someone there and says, "Oh, there's these universal laws." No, there are principles like gravity. Gravity is a principle because all of us, we can observe it. um, it only becomes a law when it's written, but it's not really a law because even the scientists do not agree on what
yeah,
gravity actually is. So, there's a principle, and truth is the highest principle. And what I say normally is that the truth comes about through transparency. Transparency comes about through clarity, and clarity comes because of light. So, truth and light are the same thing. First, you have light, and light gives clarity. Then you have transparency, and then you have truth. Then you, the human heart, you are the catalyst, right? Because we have the ability of discernment, and discernment is this ability to have the duality. And so if you have truth on the one side and you look on the other side and you have untruth or falsities, lies, darkness. So that's the opposite. Right? So
yeah,
yeah, sometimes the lies may make people smile, but yeah, sorry, but the truth will remain, and the lies will.
yeah, and it will set you free as well.
Yeah,
Let's go to the next one.
you're the
So
one.
the next one, yeah, can you read it?
You're the one changing future generations. You're the one manifesting the life of your dreams. You're the one inspiring others to do the same. You're the one that persists no matter what circumstances you face. You're the one that knows it's already yours. Yeah, because
Would you say that this describes you?
it, all of us. I mean, the one, because I use this symbology. The heart
Yeah.
is the hoe, and I is like the eye of the binary code. You have the whole and the I, and you are at the center of reality. Everything that exists is there for I. And there is no you, because a you is an I bent into submission. That's a you.
Wow.
There's no you, there's only I. That's why the Rastafarians say, I and I, we are one. So, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay,
And
and another one. Let's go to another one.
every story will glorify the hunter, yeah, until the lion learns to write. Exactly, because the lion is never going to learn to write, but yeah, I am a Leo. So I
This
always
is
like
an African proverb, yeah?
the Africans have really amazing proverbs and ways of living, and that's where I learned certain principles which are part of the what they call the Ubuntu. The Ubuntu,
Yeah, yeah.
it's 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 uh, it's an African way of living, but it's not only African. I believe that these principles were common to all native tribes, whether you're in North America, South America, Europe, ancient Europe, Africa, Asia, whatever. We had these principles that we learned from the Africans about the Ubuntu. Like they say, um, I am because we are. Because I can never be by myself. So the Ubuntu is inclusive kind of way of living. And also they say if it's not good for one, it's not good for anyone. If there's one that is suffering, there's a social problem that we need to address and we need to fix. So it's inclusive. um, and it's like the motherly principle, because a mother will, well, a good mother, because you have those that are not so good, but a good mother will always look for the best of her child and their family.
Yeah.
That's
And
uh,
give space as well. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, every story will glorify the winner. That's why the winners always write the story, and that's why we never know the truth, because
Yeah.
the winners manipulate history to their convenience. And that's how we yeah, like
Exactly.
the Lusitanian people, which I like to, because if we don't know where we come from, we might end up somewhere else. So
Yeah.
it's important for us to dig our roots, right? Wherever we come from, because once we were free, and now there's this manipulations of the winners. And in schools and universities, they don't teach us about our ancient native peoples that existed and lived here already. We have these archaeological evidences everywhere, even the language. I tell you one word that has its origin here in Algarve, that you use it in English as well. It's in Portuguese we say moço. Do you know the word
Mhm.
moço? Yeah, what does it mean?
Uh, and no, it's like a young boy, isn't it?
Yeah, moço or moça, young girl.
Yeah.
It comes from the Konyoi language, which is moçã. That means my blood, moçã, moçang, o meu sangue.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So these ancient languages traveled to the British Islands, and it comes back in English as my son, my blood,
Ah,
moço.
interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's a
You know what?
linguistic.
You know what? I'm gonna stop you there. And I'm going to leave this one because I'm going to bring you, if you accept, if you enjoy being here in our house, I'm going
Yeah.
to bring you to come again because
Okay.
I think yeah, we have a lot to talk about. And yeah, I will leave it at that. 2 hours we've been here.
Yeah.
So for me it was wow. It the time just flew, because it looked like we started just like
Yeah.
10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And when I look at the clock here, and I'm like, what, 2 hours? It can't be 2 hours. It was too good, you
Yeah. That
know?
shows
So
that
I'm gonna
time is
leave
very
this one
good.
as well for yeah, I'm gonna leave this one as well, this
Yeah.
topic as well for the time flying, for the next intervention that you and me will come
Yeah.
together. And if I don't know if there is anything else you want to say, just go ahead.
I
Yeah.
just want to thank you, for this time, because I mean it's like, as you say, you don't feel the time going past, because you we are passionate, both of us, about these things, and so the time doesn't really exist. And yeah, thanks for to everyone else that's listening and watching, and yeah, it's
Yeah, don't forget to go. I will leave in the description of the video the channels for you to go and watch other interviews that I watched it myself, and I was just like, wow. Thank
okay.
God I know Leuki. So you go and have a listen to those interviews. They are really good. And I will leave in the description as well. It's been on here. The Telegram is the Telegram group, isn't it, Loki?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
Telegram group.
link for the Telegram group. I will leave it in the link description as well. And yeah, we'll see you all for some other time
Yeah,
with Leukuir again, second round.
okay.
On what do I know?
Gratidão.
Thank you guys. Thank you. See you all next week
Ciao.
or somewhere about there. Bye bye.
Bye.